Relax and let your mind unwind. Step inside, leave stress behind. Positive vibes and talk so wise. Say your affirmations, reach the skies. Like, comment, and subscribe now. Let the good vibes show you how. That your vibe feels so right. Vibing with TC tonight. Got your vibe shining bright. Vibing with TC tonight. Lift your voice, let it sound. Good vibrations all around. Every word, every line makes your spirit start to shine. Like, comment, and subscribe now. Let the good vibe show you how. Catch a vibe, feel so right. Vibing with TC tonight. Catch a vibe, shining bright.
What is up, y'all? What is good, y'all? Hey, let me speak to everybody coming in. My Shelly Shells, what's going on, Shelly Shells? You look, y'all. I was at the nail shop. y'all, and it seemed like they was taking forever. Hey, Mama 3, what's up, sis? What's going on, y'all? Hey, I got her some, lips a little, parched. How y'all doing? TGIF. I hope everybody had a beautiful Friday. I hope everybody had a beautiful Friday, and I hope everybody have a beautiful weekend. Y'all make sure y'all tap that like button. Tap that like button if y'all want to support the channel. My Cash App is pinned below, as y'all can see. It's right there. It's right there. But welcome in, Vybyrz. What y'all doing today? Ain't nobody going out today. Have everybody been doing their positive affirmations though? Have everybody been doing their positive affirmations though? I put my hair up today, y'all, because your girl got to take it out and redo it. But I hope everybody is having a good Friday. I'm on my phone today because I didn't have time to set up my laptop. So, yeah. So, it's just me. So, y'all come on in. Come on. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about some relationship things. Usually, if I do some lives at night, it's going to be kind of more adultish. All right. Hey, G-Dub. What's up, big sis? What you been doing? I hope you did a positive affirmation today. G-Dub. Hey, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming in and supporting me. I appreciate every support. I appreciate how y'all donate to my channel. I really do. And I am still getting used to this Restream app. It's not even hard, but I still got to upload some things and learn how to, kind of navigate it a little bit more. But other than that, I'm doing good, y'all. Okay, you say you did, sis. I'm so proud of you, G-Dub. Welcome in, everybody. What's going on? And I love that I have these faithful vibers. I call y'all the vibers because y'all always vibing with me. No matter what I do, y'all gonna rock. Y'all gonna vibe. So, to everybody that support me in this channel. And once again, if y'all want to share this live, just share this live. It may help somebody. It may, cause awareness to some people. You get what I'm saying? So, y'all, Share, like, subscribe if you want to donate. The Cash App is pinned because I am not monetized. I am getting there, but I'm not monetized yet. So if y'all want to bless your girl, bless your girl. Okay. Now I know y'all see my title. I know y'all see my title. Hey, Tommy. What's up, boo? What's up, sis? I know y'all see the title. And I think I've had this title before, but I think with a different audience because I think I did it on Facebook, but I don't think I did it over here. But if I did, I guess it's a recap. So my title says, why do we stay in toxic relationships? Why? Why? And everybody's coming in. I know that y'all don't been in at least one toxic relationship. Everybody in here cannot say that they ain't been in no toxic relationship. At least once out of their life that they've been in a toxic relationship. So the toxic relationship that you were in, why did you stay? Tell me why you stayed. Tell me why you stayed in that toxic relationship. And you know what? It don't necessarily have to be a relationship to where y'all were a romantic relationship. It can be a friendship. It could be family ship. It could be any relationship. So, hey, Mama Three, tell me why you stayed in that toxic relationship. I always do it first. I always say why, because of course I've had a few toxic relationships. Okay, G Dub said young and didn't know no better. Yeah, that too. I think with mine, I think it was the comfortability. It was me not really, this is before therapy, me getting comfortable with the behavior. So I got comfortable with the behavior, so I stayed. And it was like sometimes, when you don't get therapy and you're trying to maneuver life or navigate life without being healed and whole and dealing with your trauma, you tend to think that's the best you can do, right? I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Sometimes you tend to think that's the best you can do in your relationships if it's toxic, or you get so adapted to the toxic behavior that you stay in the relationship because that's what you used to. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing different. Just say, for instance, you've been with somebody for so long, maybe years, and the behavior never changed and you never expressed how you wanted it to change. So you just stayed in the relationship because you figure out, I don't want to start over. And that's what some of us fear, is starting over. Starting over is difficult for some people because, especially if you built something with someone and the relationship is toxic, but you don't want to lose what you've already built. Hey, hubby. My hubby in here. Hey, Jadra. That is my hubby. What are you doing? You need to come see me because you know that I've moved out of state. So I need you to come see me and I need you to hit me up in my inbox. Okay. You said normalizing bad behavior. Yeah, we do that. That's why we stay in toxic relationship. It can be verbally toxic. It can be physically toxic. It can be mentally toxic. But we stay in those behaviors because that's what we adapt ourselves to, because we feel like if we don't, we'll have to start over with a new person. And then what if we start over with that new person and that new person is toxic? So it's just a cycle of toxic behaviors, right? Because if we're not healed and whole, sometime, or just healed or working on healing, sometimes we adapt or attract the same type of energy, don't we? Don't we? I know I do. I know I did. You know what I'm saying? I adapted to that behavior. And every time, let's say I broke up or got out of that toxic behavior, I added another toxic person. You said, how do you heal yourself? Well, good question, hubby. You heal yourself by therapy. I think therapy is very influential. Influential. Let me just say that. It's very influential for you to get therapy. If you deal with any kind of trauma or you know you dealt with trauma in your past, in your childhood, sometimes if we don't deal with the trauma, we bring it into our adulthood. So the behaviors that we had growing up, or, because we didn't get the help that we need, or we didn't go to therapy or whatever, we tend to bring that in our adulthood. And whatever the trauma was in our childhood, we we embol it. We embol it in our adulthood. Let's just say we had an absent parent. If we had an absent parent, we long for that parent that was absent, maybe in a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. Um, Either way, we're just drawing in the toxic behaviors of what we feel like we lacked because we didn't get the healing that we needed. Um, Maybe in our young adult years. You said you call it running the hamster wheel. Yes, because it's a repeat cycle. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a repeat cycle, and then you go through life just going around as different person but same behaviors. Have anybody had that? Different person, but basically the same behaviors, right? I'm gonna tell you a situation with me. I was in a verbally toxic relationship one time, and it had got so verbal to where we were verbally abusing each other. And we had got so used to the verbal abuse with each other, it had started becoming regular to us. It had started becoming to where it just rolled off our back or rolled out our mouth. It just was. I can say it was toxic, but back then I didn't see it as toxic. I seen it as normal because that's what I was used to. And I stayed in that relationship a while, maybe about 4 or 5 years. And it was like once I got fed up or we got fed up with each other, we parted ways. But my next partner was toxic in a different sense. And it wasn't verbally, it was cheating. They had cheating characteristics, or, they lied a lot. So not only were you cheating, you were lying, right? So I got used to that behavior. So sometimes you have to make sure that you're healing yourself to know that you don't deserve that. You don't deserve things like that. Because if you value yourself and what you want in a mate, in a friendship, because I want my friends to reciprocate the same energy that I bring them. I just feel like an even exchange, even swap, ain't no swindle. Ain't that what they say? Even swap ain't no swindle. So just tell me, y'all, just say, for instance, you are in your healing process. So we'll just say we're all in a healing process, right? And we get into this toxic situation, but we really love the person, but we know that person is toxic. What do we do? Like, what do we do? Do we stay with that person and try to work it out with them? Or do we leave and know that we deserve better? You said this season is called reciprocity. Reciprocity. Am I saying that right? Reciprocity. I hope I'm saying that right, hubby. I hope I'm saying that right, hubby. But yeah, we have to reciprocate. That's in any relationship. Even if you get in a business relationship, I feel like you should respect the person in business or not trying to take advantage of the situation. We get into a lot of situations too. Just say, for instance, I know that I'm a giving person, right? So a person will look at me and see my characteristics and see that I'm a helping person. And if they're not reciprocating that same kind of energy, they'll use it, right? They'll use it to their advantage. Oh, I see that she'll help me, or she'll do this, she'll do that. But that's not my spirit. I don't do all that, right? But I'm gonna try to milk it for what I can. Hey, my brother's in the chat. What's up, bro? But why do we always seem to be in these toxic relationship with people? Um, it's a question. Energy vampires. Oh my God, hubby. I've had so many people come at me this year with the bad type of energy or try to drain my energy or my light. They'll see the light that I have and they'll try to drain it. And that's kind of strange to me. And I know that the light always shines in the darkness. So if you're in a dark space in your life, you need the light to survive, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, just for me. I just feel like if you are in a dark space in your life, you do not want to um, bring light, will take that energy of the light. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to take that energy of the light because then you're having a person that's now going to be a shell of nothing because you don't drained all their light out. And then it's like if you're stuck in the dark, you're just draining the light. It ain't like you taking the light and becoming light. You're going to still become dark, right? You're still dark, right? So, why do we stay in toxic relationships? Wow, let me hear from some of y'all in the chat. Why do we stay in toxic relationship? G Dub said, she was young and didn't know no better. But why do y'all feel like we're drawn? If we have a light, why are we drawn to dark people? Or why are we drawn to toxic people? If we're healing ourselves, why are we still drawn to people who are toxic? I just want to see if someone gonna say what I feel. I want to see if someone's on this. Say what I feel. Okay, Mama 3 said she thought it would change. She said she thought it would change. Mama 3, I just seen your comment. You said you thought it would change. Yeah. And we have high hopes for that too. You said we have never had any positive representations of healthy relationships. That's a good one. Maybe we have not had any representations of healthy relationship. Hey, my takers, what's going on, sis? That's a good one. That's a good one, hubby. Because just say if we grew up in a single parent home. Now, both my parents was in a home growing up. When I was growing up, they did separate when my sister, was a little girl. But for the majority of the part, they were, together, right? However, just say if you have a single parent and you see them in all these different type of relationships, And some of them can be toxic. They can be fighting, they can be arguing all the time. So if we don't have that foundation or representation growing up, we it's called a generational kind of curse. We only we only can do what we see, right? So if we don't have that representation of a healthy relationship, then we end up attracting what we saw, right? Hey, Capricorn Ma, you said trombone. Okay, trombone. But we end up getting in those relationships that um, we grew up seeing, right? We see those. So I would say we get in toxic relationships because we don't set boundaries. We don't set boundaries. We don't. Hey, Fruity Pebbles, how you doing? You said we seen Mama and Auntie go through, and we think that it's just how it's supposed to go. We normalize abuse and red flags. We hold on because we thought that's how they got through it. Mm, hubby, you right. I know my video is a little like off kilter, just a little bit, but sometimes it does that. Hey Teresa, how you doing, Sugar Wooker? Thank you for coming in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. If you want to bless the channel, once again, my cash app is right there on the screen. But I say we don't set healthy boundaries either. We don't. We don't. We come to a place in our life to where because of the love that we have for that person, we don't give them any boundaries, right? We don't give them no kind of boundaries. We think that we normalize the behavior. And just like my hubby said, sometimes if we grow up seeing mama, auntie, whoever go through stuff, we think that we supposed to stay in a relationship because we've seen them stay in relationships, unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships. You know what I'm saying? So we do normalize that. So I wasn't gonna be on here long because I had it scheduled for yesterday. You said trauma bone, trauma, trauma bound. I'm thinking you trying to say trauma bound. If I'm right, yeah, trauma. Trauma once again, trauma will have you Capricorn being in toxic relationships and staying in them because we normalize trauma as well. Especially if we don't get no help, especially if we don't go talk to nobody, we will stay in toxic relationships. The comfortability of changing the way that we move can be uncomfortable for some people, if that makes any sense. People don't like to change. You know what I'm saying? They get stuck into how their life is routine. They don't want to break the routine. But most people, if they are in the growing process, then they want to do better. They don't want to be in nothing toxic. They want healthy communication and they want to grow healthy in different relationships. My husband said, you can only be so strong, but we saw those women as models of how we should be, but they didn't have therapy in there. Yeah, they didn't have therapy in their eras. They sure didn't. But now, like we have, we don't believe in therapy. We think we should just take everything. You said, you said we just feel like we should take everything to God. And that is true. That is. We do, but God is a vessel. You know what I'm saying? For us. He is gonna see us through with a lot of stuff. But I feel like we had strong women in our life who felt like they could do it all on their own because therapy wasn't a big thing then. You know, back then, if there was therapy, they was considering you crazy for going to therapy, right? Like, oh, she's crazy or she's cuckoo. She's one who flew over the cuckoo's nest. That's what they thought therapist was back then. You know what I'm saying? However, in order to move healthy in these times and these days, because the world is so harsh right now, I would recommend everybody talk to someone, a professional, someone that can help you, because we have a lot of people who struggle with anxiety, um, a lot of disorders, mental disorders, bipolar disorders, a lot of situation, PTSDs. We have a lot of emotionally unstable people. And instead of them honing in or helping themselves get better, they stay in that because they normalize it for themselves, if that makes any sense. You said, I saw how my uncles would do women, and hell no, wasn't going to be me. Now, that could turn somebody off too. You could also see how someone was being treated back in the day and be like, oh, I ain't never going down that road. You know, I ain't doing that with them. You know what I'm saying? You said my problem is I get the hell on quick. Tinkers. That's me. I always say I give a person 90 days to show me who they are. If you came in with the representative, usually 9 times out of 10, the real you gonna show up within 90 days. You said trauma bonding. Trauma bonding too. Trauma, I've done that before too. I trauma bonded with someone on a certain situation. It was almost parallel. We trauma bond, and it was, oh, the relationship was a disaster. It was a disaster. Or my thing is, I used to have a issue with always trying to save people, show them different, make their situation better. So I would show them different than what they were used to or what they told me they were used to. So I always, well, let me show them it's another world out here. But then it was almost like they seen that I would go over and beyond, and then they start taking it for granted. So now it's the relationship has become a problem. It's becoming toxic because now we have one who's willing to go the extra mile and one who ain't willing to take a mile. You get what I'm saying? So you have to basically not get yourself in situations to where you are trauma bonding with people or even getting into toxic situations. I don't care if it's a friendship. I don't care if it's someone in your family. Even you could have toxic relationships with someone in your family as well. And they can take it to the limit. They can just see how you are as a person and use that and make it a toxic situation. So you also have to set those boundaries for yourself too, people. Make sure that you're setting boundaries in anything that you do with everybody. A lot of people is not going to like that you setting boundaries. You said, come on, Olivia Pope. I miss you so much. When you come to see me, when I get off here, because I'm going to end it in like maybe a minute and I'm only going to be on here for like 30 minutes. But I wanted to do it live because I'm trying to stick to my schedule. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Miss Angela, how you doing, beautiful? But I'm trying to stick to my schedule. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I got it because I said I was gonna do 2 lives a week. I didn't do it yesterday, so I said let me do something today. But I do wanted to touch on the subject, and I did touch on it before, but it's just now sometimes we can be in settings with people and because we're gravitating to them for whatever reason, and then it becomes a toxic situation, even a friendship. mm, I just had a situation that I seen before I even got really deep in it, that it was going to be toxic, and it was a friendship. And when I seen the way that they were moving, I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like I just started bagging away. I just started taking my steps to bag away. But then when I was bagging away, Everything blew up. And when I tell you this just happened, I would say like a week or two ago. It just happened when I seen the way that they were moving. I was like, yeah, I can't get caught up in that type of friendship. I may be out with them somewhere and somebody gonna try to shoot us. Nah, I'm too old for that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to separate myself from this person, and they blew, when I say a gasket, to where I was almost being stalked by this person. And they were just a friend. They were just a friend. And I was like, dang, girl, like, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, I didn't go and didn't feed into that, even though I thought she was a cool person. I didn't even feed into that because I felt like with my growth, I had to set that boundary for myself. And sometimes people are not going to like the boundaries that you set for yourself. They're not going to like those either. So you really have to be careful. Oh, you said the video with yeah. I'm gonna bring y'all some more short reels too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, get back in a groove of things. You know what I'm saying? I've been slacking on my craft. I've been slacking on my content creating because I've been having a lot of stuff going on. But I'm gonna bring y'all some more stuff, some more funny stuff, some lighter stuff, and that's what I really want to horn in on. I want people's minds to be more healthier. That's my biggest concern for people because I just feel like if you're trying to navigate through life, you wanna have a healthier mindset just for yourself. You don't want to go into a depression to where you're not able to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You said chasing the light because miserable people need the energy to grow. Yes. And then when you don't give it to them, they get mad. But so what? Don't let nobody take y'all light, okay? And on that note, I love y'all. And please don't get into no toxic relationships. Don't get into any toxic relationships. I don't care what kind of relationship it is. No, 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 no mate, no potential mate, no friend, no family member, none of that. Hey, cousin, how you doing? I'm gonna get off now. Hey, Jay in here. Jay in here. Alicia in here, Jay. You see Jay? My hubby is in here. But yeah, don't get into toxic relationships. I don't care what kind of relationships that is. It could be a friendship. It could be someone in a family. It can be a romantic relationship. Because at the end of the day, you want to be living healthier in your mind. I mean, physically too, but your mind is more important because you have to use that every day, don't we? We have to use that every day. So don't get into no toxic relationships. Don't feel like you have to stay in anything toxic either. You feel what I'm saying? You want to be able to move accordingly to what you want out of life for a better outlook of your life. And that's just it. And I love y'all. And I want to thank y'all for all y'all support. Hit my like button. If you on Facebook, hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button on Facebook. Share my live on Facebook. Share my live on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please come over here and hit that link and subscribe to my channel. I have content on all my platforms, but I love y'all. You said change the trajectory. In order for you to do better or want better, you have to do something different. You get what I'm saying? If you want something different from your life, you have to do different. You can't be stuck in the same mindset wanting a different outcome because you're just going to keep running into a brick wall unless you change. You have to change you. No one else can change you. You have to want better for yourself. No one else can want better for you. Hey, Dr. Book, how are you? How you doing on Friday? But yeah, y'all, I just at the end of the day, do not stay in anything toxic. I know sometimes we gravitate to toxic relationships because that's what we used to. But if we have a different mindset and we have a growth mindset and we want better for ourselves, then we're going to think different. We're going to know that we deserve better, right? hmm We're going to know that we deserve better. I've been eating y'all, but we're going to know that we deserve better. Okay? And on that note, I love y'all. You make sure y'all do your positive affirmation. I love you guys. I want y'all to make sure that y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to donate to my channel, my Cash App is pinned on my screen. I love y'all. And look, y'all, get out and do something today. Get out and do something today. Okay? Or get out and do something tomorrow, if that makes any sense. Yeah, yeah. Take care of you. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Relax and let your mind unwind. Step inside, leave stress behind. Positive vibes and talk so wise. Say your affirmations, reach the skies. Like, comment, and subscribe now. Let the good vibe show you how. That your vibe feels so right. Vibing with TC tonight. Got your vibe shining bright. Vibing with TC tonight. Lift your voice, let it sound. Good vibrations all around. Every word, every line makes your spirit start to shine. Like, comment, and subscribe now. Let the good vibe show you how. Catch a vibe, feel so right.